We came into the season out of the summer talking about killing a gnat with a hammer. You've seen what happened over the last couple of weeks. South Carolina, bye week. LSU showed up, all brand new. Was it them? Was it us? But going back to my preseason prediction, this weekend, it's one of the games I had circled. I had two big red circles. I was not circled around FSU, and we know how that went. There was a circle around Georgia, and we know how that went. Now comes that other circle. Let's talk about it. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Kite Sports, the Alabama football megacast. Roll Tide, Alabama Nation. Thank you for thumbing over and joining me on whichever virtual space you have selected today. Tell everybody to lock me in, buckle up, and let's talk about your Crimson Tide, the greatest football dynasty the world has ever seen. That's right. I don't care. Chelsea ain't got nothing on this. The Springbok down there in South Africa, they don't have nothing on the Crimson Tide. But before we get to rolling, share a pound with a brother and drop it right on the subscribe button. Thank you guys who have shared the message, who've gotten me over, what am I over now? I'm over 600, on my way to 700. Thank you all very, very much for your support. And drop that pound on the subscribe button if you have not and just settled in. And go ahead and share it with everybody in Alabama Nation. And even to the other people that watch college football, hoping their team could be like the Tide, tell them too. You know, they can hang out for a little bit. It's the power of the people that's going to get this channel where it's supposed to be, up there where we belong. And just remember, if I successfully stimulate the happy juice in your gray matter and make your funny bone jiggle, please let the algorithm know what's going on over here and poke that like button right in the eye. Poke it in the eye. He got health insurance. He can get it fixed. Folks, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're watching this. We're not just talking about a game. We're talking about an event, a seismic event, a season-defining collision of two titans draped in crimson. Both of us got the same colors. I hope Ty Simpson ain't colorblind like the great Vinny Testaverde. They say he had a little problem with colors. Thank God he played at Miami. They wear orange. Didn't work too well when he was playing for the Jets. They're green and white. He didn't know who he was throwing to. Anyway, this is the week leading up to Roma in Tuscaloosa. The air has been thick, not with humidity, but with absolute unapologetic desperation. Oklahoma is staring down the barrel of elimination, folks. They desperate. The last two teams that we played against, they didn't care. They was like, we just out here to destroy y'all. We throwing it up against the wall. That's why South Carolina like a brand new team. The Oklahoma Sooners going to roll into the belly of the beast. Number 12. You know what I'm saying? Looking less like a ranking, more like a tombstone. Like they're about to get buried. Brent Venables and his crew is all hands on deck. Them guys, they up against it. They where I don't want to be. I like to be 11-1 every year if I can. But, that's where they are. They stand at 7-2 with 3 brutal games remaining on their schedule. Lose one, and let's be real, it's over. So this trip to Bryant Denny to face our number 4 Crimson Tide on every ranking all across the board. I think we got 3 4s. This is a logical place for them to just come in and just poo-poo on themselves, poop their pants, and do what we need them to do. So, whatever. They need to win out. They must win out by any means necessary. But this is Oklahoma. Oklahoma's on their last leg, their final mile in their marathon to the CFP, just like we are. But we got that oopsie still in our back pocket. We know 10-2 will do it. At least that's what we think. But when you get that last little oopsie, got a great strength of schedule in our pocket. But the entire season, the whole Venables trajectory, it comes down to a T-Town takeover. They got to come in town as a 6.5-point dog, and they got to take us out. That's pressure. It's enough to turn, diamonds into coal. But we need to, that's the reversal of the process. But we are the University of Alabama Crimson Tide, the best to ever do it. And the narrative has been simple. This is an empire. China had an empire for years, but they had different dynasties. Ming dynasty. I'm not doing a history lesson. Just go look it up. We're trying to start a new dynasty inside of this empire. That's where we are. Folks don't like to talk about it. It didn't start with Bear Bryant. It started with Wallace Wade. He got 3 of them. Huh? Nobody want to talk about that. Bear Bryant's got 6. I think Gene Stallings got robbed. That's what I think. Oh, $12,000, $15,000. Who cares? 40,000 to one. Who cares? Look at where we are now. We just laughed that off. But Alabama took a couple lumps early, shed some skin and, got skin up a little bit. But this game is more about just a top 4 first round bye in the playoffs, which it could lead to. You just got to keep winning. Alabama needs this win to solidify the argument that we've turned the corner. We turned the page, that we are writing a new history for a new dynasty. That we're not just good, that we're dominant on defense at least. Offense, I'm just telling you, I can't say they bad, but it doesn't look good, but it don't look bad. It just looks like, what are we doing again? Alabama needs to slam the door on a blue blood like Oklahoma. Yeah, they got some chips out there now. Send a message that Alabama is back where it's supposed to be. All the rest of this stuff, every game has been leading up to this. for both programs. I'm sorry, victory isn't just a W; it's an affirmation, a giant capital A stamp on the resurgence of both programs. If it proves that Oklahoma belongs in the SEC, and it also will prove that Alabama still runs it. Somebody got to come out and win and lose. I mean, this just isn't a rivalry. It's a declaration of of intent. You know, I've been checking the tape, and I'm not talking about the film and all that stuff. I don't break down too many. I've been talking about, the trash talk, because what is a classic college football showdown with a little gasoline on a bulletin board? So we found some. It's straight from the mouth of Schooner defensive lineman Grayson Halton. He was asked about the Crimson Tide's offense. He said, about those guys, their speed, their physicality, and Halton did not blink. He said they got big guys. I want to quote him directly. Open quote. They've got big guys. They've got guys that can make plays. But when we watch the film, we studied them. We got guys that can shut it down. Shut it down. Oh my goodness. Shut it down is, shut it down. That's not a quote, folks. That's a challenge. And I like it. That's a gauntlet tossed down right on the turf, right on the 50-yard line of Bryant-Denny Stadium, right there on Nick Saban Field. That's the kind of smack that, Nick Saban he said he didn't want people doing it, but he loved when people did it. And he used to post it up so they could take advantage of it. They could use it. You don't just say you're going to shut down the Tide. You just do it. And right now, Oklahoma, they write some checks. I just, do they have the money in their account to cash that thing? I do not know. It's bulletin board material. Got that Oklahoma stank on it. And I guarantee you, the Crimson Tide locker room has heard every single word. The question is, are they ready to respond? The pundits say that, Alabama's supposed to win this, supposed to lock it down. But we're talking about the SEC, folks. The conference where logic goes out the window and dies. Yeah, we're going to go to, South Carolina ain't got nothing. The Sellers, the only thing they got. Boy, had to crawl, claw, scrape, scratch to get out of that game. And I just do not even understand. That LSU game was so baffling. Do y'all not realize when you look at the early draft boards, Garrett Nussmeier was on top of it. Our defense, the one that everybody wanted to fire, y'all know who you are. Y'all want to fire Womack last year? Our defense put a potential first-round quarterback on the bench. Interim coach didn't care about keeping the job. We're going to sit all that money. I seen anything from $3 to $5 million he gets paid. They put it on the bench. Dude was over there like this in the third quarter. I was like, oh, my God. And when I was looking at the other guy, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But you cannot look at a 7-2 team. Look at a 7-2 team, no matter how many struggles they've had, assume it's going to be a victory. 7-2. They lost to some pretty good ones. Well, there's an Ole Miss and Texas A&M, I think. They lost to some pretty good ones. So that's a program, they may know how to win under duress. So this is not some kind of FCS walkover. We go out there and play Furman and this is a desperate, this is a hungry blue blood program that just happens to be on its way, it just made its way into the SEC to get in our way. They're looking to make a loud interest. They need to make a mark. They're looking at Brent Venables. He done fired coaches before. They looking at him. They want to see him in the championship game. I don't know if they're going to do him like less Brian Kelly. Because, Oklahoma got some chips now. We ain't too far away from Stoops racking them up. They want a championship. They ain't like Oklahoma State. Sitting around so we can grow our bullet out. They want championships. So they looking at this, man. The Tide, all of us, we must understand if you overlook this desperate opponent, you can pay the ultimate price. You cannot assume to win. You got to go in. You got to go in here. You got to hit Oklahoma in the mouth, and you shut them down. Because if you don't, this could be just like FSU or nearly just like the USC game. The real USC, South Carolina. I kind of bought into that now. The line is 6.5. That means that, that's a quarterback fumble away from scoring a touchdown. That's like a gravitational pull each way. Nobody said I called it. I thought we was cover against LSU, but I'm always hoping we'll cover. But we did it. So I was like, did the offense play bad or good? We won. But I'm here to kind of do it. I like to analyze it a little bit. So on Saturday, Bryant-Denny, it's been a place so far, was it 17 in a row, where people's dreams have come to get crushed. Diego Pavia, still walking around here being all disrespectful. So Oklahoma comes in playing for his life, talking a little trash, demanding respect. Alabama's looking for validation, maybe a top 4 seed into the CFP, and to prove that the old championship machine is still humming along. And this is a reckoning in red or in crimson. So grab your popcorn and turn up the volume. And please don't blink. We need everybody focused. I mean, I was calling a lot of people when that South Carolina game around the second quarter. People was out of place. I don't think nobody needs to be out of place this weekend. Get in your seat, get your barcode lounger, get your whatever it is sitting on your catfish bucket. That's the only time you sit on that catfish bucket is when the Tide is playing, or when you better be on that doggone catfish bucket watching the game. Whether you dip snuff, dip chew, black and mild, whatever, everybody need to be in place on time. 3:30 Eastern. Need to be there 3:15 Eastern, 2:15 Central. And let's get ready to go. So what we expecting to see? Starting with John Mateer, quarterback transferred into Washington State. He's trying to do that old Cam Ward thing, come over here and dominate. He's a dual threat guy. He will run the ball. I don't know if he runs as hard as Jackson Arnold. No, he doesn't, but he does run the ball. But, instead of like a dual threat, he's kind of been like his thumb, man. His thumb was messed up on his throwing hand. It was all messed up, but he has thrown for 1,949 yards, 8 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. My favorite word for him. His completion rate is at 63.8%. And he's added 306 on the ground and 6 touchdowns. All right, now we're getting into the Lamar Jackson type numbers. Well, he 8 and 7. Oh, but he got another 6 on the ground. But don't let the stats fool you. He has been shaking in a folding chair at a family reunion. But that's because of a mid-season injury, and I just don't know when that thing's going to be feeling good for him. Oh, it's man, it's me. It's me. Oh, what's up with you? It's me. It's tight. Is Dabo headed to AU? Clemson better check themselves. I'm just saying, Clemson better. I do not. Oh my God, I do not want Dabo Swinney in Alabama ever in my life. That would be a good hire, a great hire for Auburn. But realize that Dabo has been recruiting against green forest trees for the last 15 years. Huh? And as we speak about Brent Venables, what has Dabo won since Venables left his side? Other than the ACC championship, that's like winning 6A championship in California. Same thing. He will have a lot of recruiting competition, and he will be unlocked to a lot smaller place because right now he has to go into like North Georgia, got all of South Carolina, and whatever you get, everybody usually flows toward him because nobody going to play for the Gamecocks. So knock yourself out. I don't care. We're taking all suckers, knocking them straight in their mouth. Back to John Mateer. His strengths are quick release, solid short arm accuracy. He can extend plays with his legs. He's tough in the red zone. So is Alabama's defense, one of the best in the nation in the red zone. It's really remarkable. The numbers are astounding. Alabama let you go from the 10 to the 10. But boy, even against Tennessee, they were amazingly to give up in 5 trips to the red zone. Tennessee got 2 touchdowns, and they were shut out 3 times in the red zone. It's high-powered offense. Y'all remember the pick 6 for 100 yards? Yeah, that happened. They tough. LSU, same thing, tough. I think they got 2 field goals, and they got shut out of the end zone twice. Arkansas was similar. I think they got their touchdown from outside of the red zone or something like that. But they've been tough in the red zone. Now, Mateer's flaws, which is like I like to focus on. He hesitates under pressure. Can hold the ball too long. He don't like to get blitzed. Oh, he don't like to get hit. That's what happened in that game against, I think, Texas A&M. They was hitting him. They hit him early and often. He don't like it. He struggles to read deep plays. That's why he got 7 picks. Most of them are out past 20-yard line. I love that. Bray, who else we got back there? Bray Hubbard, Saab, Red Morgan, Damani Jackson. If you get in the game, y'all keep your heads up. Zay Brown, y'all know what's up. Just be ready to take advantage. I like it. He's inconsistent in his post-injury mechanics. Now, remember I told you he was hurt? I'm just saying, man, I don't care. You could put me to sleep and put 2 regular office staples in my thumb. I'm not operating the same with him. I'm just not doing it. And when I thought this guy had some of his thumb, I'm just saying, man, I wouldn't be the same. And he doesn't read coverages very well when they're very disguised. And that's one of the things Kane Womack does very well. Now, on offense, we got to watch out for Torrey Blaylock. We got a nice little 4.3 yards a carry. They do run the ball pretty well. This Isaiah Santiga, the third, their best receiver. He's a vertical threat. Like I said, if he can't find them and we got him covered up, we should be able to take care of that. It's all about pressuring the quarterback. They got a running back Ott who transferred from California. He's kind of a change of pace guy they have over there. And you got Sexton. Now, Sexton is a solid left tackle, but he's not elite. And I'm telling you, with Yanzi Pierre, I haven't heard anything about Quay Russo coming back, but Yanzi Pierre and Keon Keeley out there, and the biggest improvement we've had on our defense, and they were talking about at the press conference on Monday, is the guys in the middle. Hill Green, I forget everybody's name now. Deontay Lawson. These guys are making plays like they are on it. They making their calls. They're holding the ground. I don't know if y'all realize or not, especially y'all who wanted Kane Womack fired last year. Alabama gave up 52 or 56. We got 52 yards rushing, but we only gave up 52. That's kind of a fair swap, but we need to get it. It's that running game. I ain't even got time. That running game, I don't even know what to say. I do not know what to say. On defense, they got a guy named Kip Lewis. He's a sideline linebacker. R. Mason Thomas is their real pass rusher, but they're not sure if he's going to play. Last I read that he practiced like on last Thursday. He hadn't practiced that last Thursday, and I think is Oklahoma coming off a bye week. I'm not sure, but David Stone is out there. He's a young guy, but he's making a lot of tackles in there in the middle. They got a guy named Robert Spears Jennings. He's a highly touted safety, so he'll be out there trying to give Isaiah Horton and Jeremy Bernard and Ryan Williams the business. And we don't like our guys getting the business. They got another young guy, Peyton Bowen, who is a good DB piece to have, but people are saying, I'm not sure, Texas A&M who we don't play, or Ole Miss who we don't play in the regular season at least. They're saying Alabama could be the best offense they played. I don't know. I can't disagree, but I'm hoping that we'll be one of the most complete teams. But if we can hold everybody to 15 points or something and only score 27, I guess we're fine, but it just doesn't seem that's what we need to do. We need to put up more points. Oklahoma is stronger against the run than they are against the pass. They only allow 82.4 yards rushing. I look at it like this. This is the bright side of that. We only trying to get 75. That's not funny. That's not funny. That is not funny. But it's true. They only give 82.4. Yeah, I'd be glad to get 82.4 compared to what we did last week. But I think they're making some adjustments to get Daniel Hill more carries. I saw some film. I didn't get a chance to look at all of it. It was one time with Jan went into a hole and he didn't press the hole. He tried to run to an open spot. It was open, but the blocking was set to go this way. As soon as he stepped outside of the blocking, he got destroyed. It's like the play was over because they jumped on him. But they are third in the nation. Oklahoma is third in the nation in run defense. Against the pass, they're giving up 181 yards per game. And that number goes up even higher once you get rid of all the unranked opponents that they've played. It goes substantially higher. They got a veteran group up front, but the secondary is young. And that's a recipe for disaster if we can get Ty Simpson and the Alabama air raid back to clicking. You know what I mean? Head to head, the last couple games. Y'all know what happened last year. I ain't even going to go to these other games. They lead the series 4-2-1. I got a frat brother that's a Oklahoma fan, and oh man, he was talking so much junk to me. This is back in, it was right before that. No, it was. He was talking about the 2014 game where they beat us 45-31. He said, and then that next time we met up, this was 2018. Alabama beat them 45-34 in the Orange Bowl, and I hadn't seen that boy since. Promise to God, I have not seen him since. But it was like he was everywhere. He was on my Facebook timeline. He was at this cookout, Oklahoma, and I ain't seen him since. That dude kind of disappeared right in the midst of the Saban era. He's like, yeah, y'all beat everybody else. Y'all don't beat us, but we are they are leading the series 4-2-1 over the last few years. But that's cute. They lead the recent history, but we're playing. This is going to be a blood match. It's going to be very physical. I don't know if they play the team as physical as Alabama. I'm just going to say that. I know Texas A&M tough and stuff, but I don't know. I don't know how tough they are. I'm questioning everybody. But when you look at a snapshot of all the stats, Alabama is 57th in total offense. They are 78th. We at 403. They're 373. Pass offense is 14th. There's a 62nd. At 291 and 236 yards per game. Rush offense, they got us, but they not too much better. We're at 111 per game. Told you we ain't trying to get with that 82 for help. Anyway, we're at 111 a game. They're at 137. So they put the ball in the air probably more than they probably get behind. I don't know why they play the way they play. Scoring offense, we're 39th. They're 64. They get 29. We get about 33 a game. Total defense is where you start to see some differences. We're 18th in total defense. They are 7th in total defense. This is nationally. They give up 264. We give up 303. But like I said, the red zone, that is where Alabama has had a tremendous advantage. And I love that because when you see like the development of Coach Saban did the same thing. See the development of a strong team. If you think about how am I going to build a team, what I want them to do first. Learn how to stop a 3rd and 8 from the 35-yard line. No. I'm going to start right there inside the 10-yard line. Like Coach DeBoer said, you keep making the offense take one more snap. That's their philosophy. One more snap. Make them snap the ball one more time. If you think about it, you make them keep snapping the ball, eventually they're going to run out of snaps. So that's their mentality. And like I said, you start in the 10, you go out to the 20, you lock that down. I ain't gonna lie. You really can't worry about the 20 to the 20 because all the penalties and stuff that can happen. Then you start to expand into that. And it seems like they are solid inside the 10. That don't mean people are never going to score. That don't mean we can't get beat by 7 field goals. But what it means is you have a very tough defense. Pass defense, we are 10th in the nation, giving up 164. As I said, they are 181, and they are ranked at 17. Our rush defense has improved a little bit. It was up as high as 150 yards, 50 or 60 yards a game, especially coming off that Florida State game. But right now, we are 54th, giving up 139 yards a game. And that's where you got to watch out for John Mateer running, because trust me, the way his thumb probably feels and will be feeling for the rest of this year, he probably rather just run and slide than throw and hope. Their rush defense, 3rd in the nation, 82.4 yards, which works because we're only trying to get 75 yards. Not playing. We got to blow some holes to these guys. Holes they didn't even know they had. They got to turn around like, God, man, what the heck? That kind of game we need. When it comes to scoring defense, we're 13th. They're 7th, but we're real close. Well, kind of close together. We give up 17 a game, and they give up 14. I still think they have a pretty good schedule too, a tough schedule. It's really comparable to the one we have, and this is a good number to have in your corner. Alabama's turnover margin is 1.2 plus 1.2 for 4th in the nation. Theirs is plus 0.3, tied for 41st in the nation. I like those odds. That, I think, as you can see, that's Deontay Lawson strip against Lenore Sellers at the end of the game. That is the focus of this man's defense. It's not only, the big body stopping the run on every play. They like to get the ball, whether it's interceptions or forcing fumbles. And I mean, if you get a chance to look at that doggone Hill Green, it's a view coming. The running backs running this way, and the camera view comes here, and you can see him carrying the ball. He's like, I got the ball, and I'm going to the end zone, or at least I get a first down. Man, the Kyle Hill Green came through that thing like he came through. He's like, I have the power. When I'm telling you they slowed that thing down, I don't know too many people who could hold on to that ball. I mean, the running back, maybe he didn't have it where he needed to be, technique and all that stuff. But when he hit that ball, the way either he was going to break his hand and wrist, or that ball was coming out. He got 3 full strides coming in low and was like a superhero coming to punch somebody in the mouth. Had to come out. But Oklahoma's got a defense that looks good on paper, and a quarterback who used to be very, very dangerous. Now he's just, he's lethal. But this ain't paper. This is Bryant Dennis Stadium, the SEC, and this is Alabama. So the Sooners going to have to bring more than just these stats to the game. Because we have played several teams who have had better defensive stats than Alabama. I'm not just throwing it out there. It's the truth. The FBI just dropped the latest forecast about the game, and they said that, it's looking like it's going to be a crimson tsunami. They're saying that Alabama's got a 71.6 chance of rolling over Oklahoma, according to the ESPN's Football Power Index. But it's a polite, it's a warning to Oklahoma fans. Just don't get used to thinking you just gonna come out here and just dominate. We got something going on this year. I don't think y'all ready to deal with. Ty Simpson is cooking. You know what I'm saying? Whether you like it or not, he's still doing pretty well. I don't know about the whole Heisman thing, but he could probably still end up being the Danny O'Brien quarterback of the year because he's winning and he's playing well. Them fumbles he's had in the pocket, got to fix that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure his father is going to take care of that on the phone call. But what you doing? What you doing? I didn't teach you that. I didn't teach you that. Huh? Don't nobody in this house. Your mama don't even hold a loaf of bread like that. He got a daddy. His daddy gonna get in his ear. I'm sure Womack's gonna get in his ear because Slick is not gonna be of any help to him. Slick Sheridan, he's a quarterback coach. Any mistake that Ty Simpson has made this year, I do lay at the feet of Slick Sheridan. There you go. I think everybody would agree with that. But Oklahoma's, they have hope, man. They can stop the run, and pray that Simpson forgets how to read defenses. That he does like he did against LSU. Always go for the long ball, overlooking the 2 under receivers who were perfectly open for a first down. I think they're going to address that because that's something that I saw Ryan Grubb talk about. Like, yeah, we took some shots. We like taking the shots, but when the short stuff in the run game is not working, it just makes it all fall apart. You need the run game so you can get the play action for the long shots, but sometimes you just got to back them up a little bit off the line with the pass so you can make some gaps. It works together in his head. And getting those first down helps the defense. See, so they are thinking complementary football. I don't know if it's the line changes, the offensive line changes that's happening, why they can't run the ball. Not a run game expert. I don't know if we need a new offensive line coach. I have suggested it before because it just didn't look right. Didn't make no sense. But we got to do something. Because this defense is no joke, man. Top 10 in all these categories. They stingy in that uncle at Christmas. You can't get more than $5 out of. That's why I don't even like him coming around here. Don't even come on. He coming this year? Whatever. The Sooners defense is elite, man. I mean, that run D, you got to hit them with the pass, but you got to run the ball to, get the coverages you want. They're going to double team different people at different times. Good thing is we got a lot of people to throw the ball to. Now, I include, the big 3. I include Josh Quavers, and you cannot forget about Latzia Brooks. All are scheduled to be healthy this weekend. Throw some Derek Meadows if you have to. Let's get out there and make it. But I don't want to go crazy 500 yards to take these people out. But it'll be fun to see. But we got to get this run game fixed because you're not going to last long in the playoffs because allegedly the other 11 teams that you were paying in playoffs are going to have very good defenses. And in real life, this is probably one of the best defenses we're going to play against when it comes to the run. And then when you get on the other side of the FCS or whatever that is we playing after this game, Auburn's a whole new different team right now. Got to fix this run. You got to get this thing to where they can at least get 100-some yards. I think they can do it. I think they can figure it out. But offense, the offense is it was peaking at the right time. It's just kind of peeled back. But right now through the season, we're looking at 21 touchdowns from Ty Simpson, 1 interception, and a 70% completion rate. We just got to keep going in the right way that we're going. He got rhythm, man. Ty Simpson got rhythm like Motown in the 60s. They got what you need. You want a fast? What you want, BPM 96 or BPM of 116? Whatever you got, baby, just start singing. We got you. That's Ty Simpson. He got rhythm, man. We just got to fix this stuff up front so the rest of it can work right together. I mean, their secondary is young and vulnerable. Oh, so vulnerable. They just vulnerable. One busted coverage, man. Jeremy gone. Isaiah could be like a possession nightmare for him because of his size. And Ryan Williams. But we block. It's the run game, man. I saw the running backs at this late stage in the season. We had running backs missing blocking assignments. I'm going to go get this guy here. What about this freight train coming up the middle? What you don't see that I see? God, help me, Lord, baby Jesus. This will be the best defense that we've faced all year. I don't know if I've said that. So just get ready. I'm going to try to look into this running game. I'm going to try to go over the film guy and glean something from him. I don't know if I do a video. I just want to know what's going on. What's going wrong about this offense. Their D is real, man, but Alabama got juice, man. And we come out there rolling, stomping, spitting, and cussing. We can roll right through these guys. It's kind of like one of those Tennessee moments. I'm hoping that the loss from last year has these guys fire red, mad, and pissed off. 24-3 was the worst loss. To me, is worse than Vanderbilt. Because going into that game, looking around, and all the changes, Clark Lee, Jerry Kill coming over, you can see they will improve team. If you go in there thinking it's the same old Vanderbilt, they will beat your ass. That ain't the case this year. We know what's going on. But when we turned around and went to a quarterback who was supposed to throw the ball, end up running down our back, up our butt and down our back, that kind of leaves you just upset. And there's a lot of players on the team that were on that field last year. And they didn't let each other know that we got disrespected. We just lucky that game wasn't in Tuscaloosa. But they come to our house now. 17-game winning streak on the line. And here come Brent Venables, well known as a defensive stalwart in the game. And also, he gets involved in some stuff that I don't know. It's like, what is Brent Venables doing? I remember when, matter of fact, DC and Auburn had the one made me look it up. Yeah, go look up Brent Venables, man. They said dude be stealing signs. I'm like, what do you mean stealing signs? I looked it up. I had no idea it was so common. Then they, even Coach DeBoer, he said the more not Democratic, more he kept it professional. He said, yeah, everybody does this, that, and the other from time to time, instead of saying that man was in my trash can last night. Now, Oklahoma's defense is notorious for interpreting signals. Lane Kiffin called him out. He went on to beat him 34-26. That's not cheating, but it's definitely it's not cheating, but that's definitely like some kind of dark art of gridiron espionage. OC Ryan Grubb, he ain't playing games, man. He just said, look, hey, if you're listening, if Coach Venables listening, hey, we changing everything. Yeah, we changed everything. Yeah, we putting our drawers on backwards. Yeah, we going from khakis to slacks. We going from crew cut t-shirts to tank tops. They changing everything. So Brett, if you got that Dakota ring, it's just expired. Throw it in the trash can. Go back to the little orphan Annie or your Cracker Jack box and get you a new Dakota ring, because this one is nothing gonna be the same. But he did praise Venables for being for his defensive wizardry, calling him a very multiple and super athletic on defense. Venables is the kind of guy they say he brings a chessboard to a checker match. That's nice. The Sooners, like I said, they ranked 7th in scoring and total defense. They're stingy, sneaky, and they're surgical. Alabama's defense has sputtered, just scoring 22 versus South Carolina, 20 against LSU. But this week, they're changing. We're going to change it up. Like, now you see me, now you don't. It's going to be like a Vegas magic show. You went Monday, you thought you were going to see the same thing on Tuesday. No, you're not. We changed up. We got a different show for you. So he compared, Grubb also compared number 5, Kendall Daniels, to Isaiah Simmons. He's in the league right now. He was a Clemson freak that made Dabo look like a genius. It had to do with Dabo. This man was just a beast. And, speaking of Dabo, like I said, he ain't sniffed that doggone title since Venable left. I'm just saying, everybody say, Venables, he does a good job. He tailors his defense to who he's playing. He gets the right blitzes in place for the team, the counter blitzes where he's looking at your weaknesses. Like if you're always rotating this guards out, maybe he know which guard can deal with this, where it comes from the left shoulder, right shoulder, the details, stuff like that. Alabama's tailoring their offense too this time. They're bringing in, scissors to cut at the fabric of what we do. Going to switch some things up. And I think the first thing got to be done, the most important, you got to run the ball. You got to run the ball. If you keep these boys, first of all, we got to get this time possession back up, but keep this ball at second and less than 5. Ty Simpson called it the game last year. It's spooky. This year, he's seeking to be a ghostbuster. I like that. So hopefully Oklahoma's about to get slimed. Pause. Ghostbuster reference. But it's still I need to say pause. Alabama's prepping for a chess match. But we're bringing a flamethrower just in case. Signal still or not, the tide is ready to roll, I think. And just another word on Brent Venables. Is he a sign stealer, a defensive wizard, or just a guy who reads lips like he knows a Netflix subtitle addict? My wife likes to cut on it. I can't stand looking at him unless it's like a foreign something. I just don't know what they're saying. Thick accent. My wife, man, we could be watching a doggone replay of the doggone Jeffersons. She got ain't you seen this? I mean, come on, man. We know what they're saying. But let's talk about the man who's accused of decoding offenses like he auditioning for the CIA. Brent Venables has been in the signal stealing conversation longer than some coaches have been alive, from his days at Clemson to his current gig. Everybody's been saying this. The whispers have followed him like a shadow at high noon. It started back in the Death Valley days. LSU accused Clemson of knowing their plays before they're called. Coincidence? I think not. Maybe. But when your defense is jumping routes, like they got they got their playbook right here, and they got a laminated copy of your playbook on the other thing, people start looking around like, man, what? I ain't ran that play all day. And you go to the film and all the DBs jumping all 3 routes. What is that? Then, Lane Kiffin came with his jab, so he didn't mix no words. He said, seems like they know what's coming. And Reynolds just responded and said, it's a weird kind of compliment. What? That's like being a pickpocket and replying and saying, like, hey, thanks, man. I do have quick hands. My hand. Venables has never been caught red-handed, no spy cams, no road interns, just a reputation for teach players how to read signals like they're prepping for the SCT. Let's see. He said, slugged up Dirk, it's me. He definitely isn't. They don't want that, I guess. I don't know. It sounds like a nice fit to me, to be honest. So I just want to ask the question: is it cheating? Technically, is it shady? No. Let's just say it's kind of like a tactic that makes other coaches double check their wristbands and change their lamination boards and all that stuff, their Waffle House menus. So what is he? Is he a borderline cheater, a defensive genius, or is he a master of the gray area? Honestly, he might be all three, to be honest. He's the kind of guy who win a poker game without even looking at his cards, just by watching your face twitch when you think you bluffing him. Yeah, right. FBI, y'all need to bring him in too, because he probably in some of them games, them poker games, taking folks' money when they're reading through the cards. You need to check on Brett Venables. Come check him out, because I don't know. This dude, something ain't right. But here's the kicker. If it's not cheating, this may sound crazy, then teach it. If it ain't cheating, teach it. Because everybody tells us, well, we all do our look. Teach it. Host a clinic. Drop a YouTube video, a tutorial. Let the rest of the football world know. Our brother Oliver, I think, is going on to glory, but whoever is teach it, because until that master class gets scheduled, and last I checked, nobody has done that. The whole thing smells like a play action fake with a side of misdirection. And in Tuscaloosa, that's the kind of trickery that doesn't fly. It just gets flat. Go ask Gus Malzahn when he had his great year. You know what happened with all his the Delaware wing team mysticism with this is the greatest offense I've ever seen. Yeah, but when they got a chance to look at everything he was doing, it wasn't about football. There was so many things going on outside of the doggone out of bounds area dealing with Gus Malzahn that had to be nipped in the bud. And where is Gus Malzahn now? Oh, yeah, that's right. They just kicked our ass, and he can't kick nobody else's ass. Says a lot. The Alabama is the place to unmask all that crap coming this weekend. Take all that stuff off. We're going to change our plays. Then we're going to drag Oklahoma's behind right to the middle of the field, right in the middle of the gray area. And then we're going to kick them right between the lines. I was going to say something else. Going to kick them into something else right between the lines. We're going to see. Join me. I'll be going live right after halftime with a big smile on my face no matter what's going on, because it will be about 5 o'clock. So, yeah, I ain't going to get too loose at 5. I might. If we up by like 20, it may get crazy. But I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys for joining me here on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you find me. Don't forget to smack that subscribe button. Flick that notification bell so you know if I'm dropping stuff. I'm dropping stuff all over the place. Go check out my shorts. There's some real funny stuff over there. I got a tribute to some of the major coaches that have been let go of. And I'm trying to get people jobs and all kind of stuff. And just trying to keep it entertaining. I want to thank all of you guys for joining me today. It's me, Slugged Up Durkin. Slugged Up Durkin. Yeah, you do have to sleep. He got slugs in his mouth. But shout out to It's Me and Be Sharp and Sharpshooters podcast, Kangaroo Black Barrel Mo, The Long Run with Piano Man and Rags and Fitness. I want to thank all those guys for making Alabama great always. At me always. And I want to get all the best to the brothers at Auburn Addicts, Water Cooler Podcast, Bubba and the Old Man. It's SEC season. The Up Tempo Plus podcast with my man Dustin, Huggy Beard himself, a.k.a. the Rooster Matt, and Vandy Chris at the Golden Broom podcast, who still has a chance to make it to the CFP if Diego Pavia don't get arrested on the field for acting like a jackass. I'm hoping that these teams, though, no matter what going on to these other guys' team, I hope they have the best Hungry Hippos team in the NCAA. I hope they win national championships all over the place. So check in with me during the game. No need to roll with the tide alone. Check me out. Let's get ready to go in here and bust these folks' chops. Coming down here talking a little bit of smack. I like it. Say it with your chest. But with that, as far as Around the Herd, we'll see you next Tuesday right here at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. And always remember, folks, no matter what's going on, always remember, Roll Tide Roll.